This is the Pacific Island American Experience course.
What's up, Moose? What's up, Moose? Run that shiny boy.
Hi, I'm Tina with Redwood Therapy and Youth Services, and you're watching From a Poly Perspective. Do you need help or know someone who needs therapy? Give us a call. Thank you.
And ain't nobody sleeping on this dude right here. Give it up for my man, Peace.
My name is Brian Marcino. I'm from Samoa. My grandfather came from Samoa here in the 60s, and he just brought all of their 13 kids. I do hip hop. I particularly love hip hop because the origins of me. It might not seem like it today, but from the ground up, when hip hop first came out, it was about the struggle. Inner city struggles were probably not as urban as other cities, but as immigrants, we can relate to some of those struggles. As far as I have a song called Glass Ceilings, and it talks about even though a lot of us mentioned that our grandparents or our forefathers came here to better our lives, many of them had to work multiple jobs, and Glass Ceilings kind of details how my grandpa had to work 3 jobs. All of his kids, rather than getting an education, they all kind of followed route and started working 2 or 3 jobs for themselves just to stay afloat. So that's kind of what my music is about.
Say go B-side, go B-side, go! Go B-side, go B-side!
I'm a parent, so as far as hip hop, I mean, one thing I like to kill is stereotypes, and I know a lot of people associate hip hop with like that you have to have some sort of gimmick, or you have to be like either you're some hardcore gangster rapper, or you have a bunch of girls on your side or whatever in the videos. But for me, I have sons and a daughter, and so I understand the power of music, and it helps me to remember the lyrics that I choose to put out there and make sure that it's sending the right message, even though it might, require some explicit content to be real with it at the same time. The message behind it is about, to my kids, about, regardless of what they stereotype you as, you still have that decision whether you want to buy into it or you want to live above it. Statistic-wise, we all know that if you have parents that go to college, you usually will follow suit with that. If you have a grandpa that works multiple jobs, it's hard for them to be home. Usually, those kids will follow in that same direction, and that was kind of the blueprint that my grandpa set for his kids. One thing that they all have in common is they're workaholics. They can work, but at the same time, the stability as far as having parents in the home when you come home from school and things of that sort. That was kind of the tradition of our family as far as the struggles that we face.
Check it out, forget about what you're trying to do. Saw me tonight, and here's what I'm trying to do.
Obviously that line that you don't want to cross, but you definitely want to try to make music where it can tend to the masses. And at the same time, I want to be real with myself and be able to go home and feel good about the music that I put out there.
Put on this shine like Frank, and I'ma pay you back for all the love you show.
I talk about stories that pertain to Pacific Islanders, and so we're immigrants, and so when we come to this country, we start off with nothing. So we kind of relate to the streets as far as the struggle. Anybody can relate, regardless of their ethnic background, and I think I can be successful with doing that, with talking about my people and our experience.
No doubt, I know you feel neglected, and I'm just trying to be real, I feel that's correct. But at the same time, I'm worried about the ground that I'm giving up, because I ain't never giving up. We get too strong for too long.
There's a lot of hip-hop music out there that's degrading women. All that talks about, the different names that they call women, but as Polynesians, we know a lot better than to use those type of things. We have a lot of respect for our moms, and I have a daughter, so the last thing I want to do is, I want to make sure that my daughter understands her place in her life and the power that she has as a woman. So that's one of the struggles I have as a rapper.
Surrounded by good people, family and friends, they hoping that we make it through.
Growing up here in Utah, I had the chance to grow up on all different types of music because hip-hop station didn't come here till like the late 90s. I love all genres of music. As far as rap, I think the greats like Biggie, Nas, Tupac, Big Daddy Kane, the way they tell their stories, they're artistic and simple. It's something that I relate to. So those are my favorites.
So late, all day my hip-hop report court, all subjects, all age, no step.
Couple of clowns in them.
Get go, coming off the edge, I'm the Black John Rando, Flojo Sando.
I'm from Rose Park, here in Utah. The Poly community in Rose Park is really tight-knit, so close. We get a lot of support when we throw shows. Our people come out, but at the same time, it does make you kind of nervous as far as, the way you carry yourself because everybody is watching. So yeah, there is a little bit of pressure, but thank goodness, in our community we have a good feel to the way everybody carries and supports each other. So it makes it a lot easier for any artist that comes out of Rose Park as far as Pacific Island because we do have a good support system.
Welcome to the Wild Wild West.
I think for me the ultimate is just hearing people in the community drive by and they bump into music. You know what I mean? Just people coming up to you and say I could relate to that. Or hearing my sons walk around the house singing the chorus or something like that. And I think for me that lets me know that I'm doing something good.
Avoiding all the red lights, flying on the highway. Green tinted looks, all of the lights. Green Kanye, west of the Rockies, Rose Park is where you find me.
This song is about my niece, one of my best friend's daughter. She had a soccer scholarship and she was extremely talented. And the song's called "Tell Me Why," and it goes. A young girl with all the promise in the world. Parents raised her well, how she felt got caught up in the twirl. This is her story and I'm telling it. It's real and it's relevant. It hit me in my heart cause she my relative. Beautiful and innocent, the deal she was selling it. Athletic in every sport, you name it, she was killing it. Played varsity as a freshman, winning back-to-back tournaments. Traveling the world with high hopes, yeah, she carried it. The busy life she married it, the pressure never scared of it.
My girl and my seat is doing fine. I'll stay on the grind, I'm running out of time. I'm just speaking the truth, I won't mind. I'll take the money and the pounds and the shine. If my girl and my seat is doing fine,